The bridge of the Velkarn Dominion flagship went silent as the transmission ended. Fleet Marshal Toran Vex stared at the dead screen, his 4 eyes narrowing. Behind him, 300 warships hung in the void above a smoking, cratered world that used to be called Earth's forward colony, Meridian Station. Only 20 minutes ago, his armada had been winning. Now every reactor core on every Velkarn ship was flashing red. "Status report," Vex growled. "Sir," his weapons officer's voice cracked. "Our shields are failing. Our engines are failing. Nothing is responding to command input. It's like the ships are being switched off, one system at a time." On the main screen, a small human vessel, barely a tenth the size of Vex's flagship, drifted calmly in the wreckage field, untouched, unafraid. A voice crackled through every channel in the fleet, at once human, calm, tired. "You had 11 years to accept the treaty. We warned you. This was never something we wanted to show you." Vex's claws dug into his armrest. "Identify that ship." His officer's voice trembled. "Sir, it's not a warship. Database match. Passenger designation. It's a diplomatic courier." A single, unarmed diplomatic courier had just crippled an entire invasion fleet. None of them understood yet what they had actually done. 11 years earlier, humanity's first true contact with an alien civilization was not a war. It was a handshake. Awkward, cautious, but real. The Velkarn Dominion, a sprawling empire of 17 conquered star systems, had expected the newly spacefaring species called humans to be primitive, easily absorbed like the others before them. Instead, humans offered something no one expected: a treaty of equals. Ambassador Elena Cho stood before the Dominion's ruling council on Velkar Prime, her small human frame dwarfed by towering reptilian nobles in ceremonial plating. She did not flinch. "We don't want your territory," she said. "We don't want your resources. We want to trade knowledge, culture, and peace. Earth has no interest in conquest." The council chamber erupted in mocking laughter. High Regent Salus Thren, the most powerful noble in the Dominion, rose from his throne-like seat. "Peace," he sneered, "is the language of the weak. You have shown us nothing that proves your species deserves a seat among us." Elena's expression didn't waver. "We're not asking for a seat. We're offering you a choice. Choose it carefully." The council had no idea how carefully those words had been chosen. For 6 years, the treaty held. Trade routes opened. Human engineers helped rebuild a Velkarn moon colony devastated by asteroid strikes. Velkarn scholars studied human art, stunned by its emotional depth. Slowly, cautiously, something like trust began to grow between two species who had every reason to remain enemies. But not everyone in the Dominion wanted peace. High Regent Thren watched human technology spread through neutral systems with growing unease. Humans weren't just trading, they were becoming influential, popular, respected. And Thren's spies had uncovered something that terrified him more than any weapon. Human colonies were growing faster, adapting faster, innovating faster than any species the Dominion had ever encountered. If this continued, humanity wouldn't need to conquer the Dominion. It would simply outgrow it. Thren convened a private meeting of hardline nobles in a hidden chamber beneath the capital. "They fooled us," he told them. "This peace was never surrender. It was patience. We must strike before they finish their expansion into the border systems. We destroy their colonies, seize their technology, and erase this humiliation before the rest of the galaxy learns that the mighty Velkarn Dominion once bowed to a species that hadn't even mastered warp drive a century ago." No one in that room knew they were about to make the worst mistake in Dominion history. The attack came without warning. 12 Velkarn battle fleets struck 7 human border colonies simultaneously. Meridian Station, home to 80,000 civilians, was the first to fall under bombardment. Admiral James Okoro, commander of Earth's 3rd Defense Fleet, received the emergency transmission while reviewing supply logs on Earth. His hands went cold as the casualty numbers scrolled across his screen. "They broke the treaty," he whispered. "They actually broke it." Beside him, Elena Cho, now head of Earth's diplomatic corps, closed her eyes. "Then it's time," she said quietly. "Activate Directive Ember." Okoro hesitated. "Elena, once we do this, there's no going back. The whole galaxy will know what we really are." "They forced our hand," Elena said. "We tried peace for 11 years. We showed them our best side. Now they need to understand. That was never the only side we had." What none of the alien powers realized was that humanity's peaceful face had never been weakness. It had been restraint. Back above the ruins of Meridian Station, Fleet Marshal Vex watched helplessly as his flagship's systems continued failing one by one. Every attempt to reboot the reactor core met the same result: a calm, synthetic voice replying through the ship's own speakers. Command override in progress. Please remain still. That's impossible, Vex snarled. No signal can penetrate our firewall encryption. But it wasn't a signal. It was something the Velkarn had never considered, because their entire military doctrine was built on brute force, not subtlety. 11 years earlier, during cooperative infrastructure integration, human engineers had helped install updated navigational relays across dozens of Dominion shipyards, part of the original peace treaty's technology exchange. Nobody in the Dominion ever checked what else those relays quietly carried. A dormant human failsafe, embedded deep inside Velkarn engineering, activated the moment Earth's defense network detected an unprovoked large-scale attack. It didn't destroy anything. It didn't need to. It simply reminded 300 warships who had built parts of their own infrastructure. The horror was only beginning for High Regent Thren. On the courier ship, the calm voice continued speaking to the paralyzed fleet. This is Ambassador Elena Cho, Earth Diplomatic Corps. 11 years ago, we told your council that peace was a choice. We meant it. We built roads between our worlds, not weapons pointed at your throats. But you saw kindness and called it weakness. You saw patience and called it fear. Fleet Marshal Vex stared at the screen, his throat tightening. Humanity has never shown you our full capability. We chose not to. Every technology we shared, every gesture of goodwill, could have been used differently. We hoped we'd never have to show you why that restraint mattered. You just found out. Silence gripped the bridge. Your ships are not destroyed. Your crews are not harmed. This is your final warning, not your execution. Stand down, withdraw from human territory, and this ends now. Continue this war, and you'll learn there was always another side to the peace we offered. The transmission cut out. Vex's second-in-command whispered, horrified, "Sir, they could have killed us all just now. They chose not to." That single realization would haunt every officer in that fleet far more than any weapon could have. Word of the failed invasion spread through the Dominion, faster than any official report could contain it. Other alien powers who had quietly watched humanity's rise, the cautious Threll ascendancy, the isolationist Corvith clans, took notice. Not because humans had proven themselves the strongest military force in the galaxy, because they'd proven something rarer, restraint backed by real power. High Regent Thren, humiliated and stripped of his authority by his own council for provoking an unwinnable war, was exiled to a remote outpost world. His final transmission to Dominion Command was intercepted, and later declassified. We mistook their patience for permission, it read. We were wrong. 6 months later, Elena Cho stood again before the Velkarn Council chamber, this time facing a new, chastened leadership eager to renegotiate peace on Earth's terms. The nobles who once laughed at her now listened in careful silence. You wanted proof that we deserved a seat among the stars, she said. We gave you that proof the only way you'd accept it. Not through conquest, but through mercy you didn't expect and couldn't explain. She paused, letting her words settle over the chamber. Humanity chose peace first, every time, because we believe it's the right way to build something lasting. But we will never again let anyone mistake our patience for weakness. Admiral Okoro, watching from Earth's command center light years away, allowed himself a small, tired smile as the historic new treaty was signed, one built not on fear, but on earned respect between two very different peoples, who had finally understood each other. Humanity's message to the stars had never really been about weapons or warnings. It was simple, unforgettable, and true. We will always try peace first, but we will never again let the galaxy forget. We were never as defenseless as we chose to appear.